Flamin' Hot Doritos in your Mountain Dew. That's how we drink drinks now.
The best flavor. Best flavor. Everyone agreed on that.
What is this, fucking 2006?
I wish. I mean, those were the good days.
The good old days.
And closer to the days when we got the original movie that we're about to talk about today on Spoiled It. I am Leon, the host, and I am joined by Silas, my co-host, and returning guests, Marty, and new guest, Leah. And we're here today to talk about the newest live-action reboot that they always decide to do. Now Universal and
standard for the industry.
What's the company that does DreamWorks, right?
DreamWorks,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
DreamWorks have decided to join on the bandwagon now. So we have the How to Train Your Dragon 2025.
How long until we get Shrek? Like live action.
Shrek
You
live
shut your
action?
mouth. Do
No.
not give them
I think
ideas.
that's what people have been asking that. I think people have been asking
my
that.
God.
It's
Can
gonna
you
be Jack
imagine
Black
CGI
as,
Shrek?
as Shrek?
Yeah.
Can we get Markiplier's Farquaad?
Oh my
Everyone
god!
already memes it.
Yes. That's a great
Actually,
idea.
I need this.
Please,
Okay.
please.
Hear me out.
But yeah, so we were lucky enough to see this in RPX at Regal, the theater that's near us, and it's always good seeing movies in there, like especially like a blockbuster popcorn flick. And I guess just to start things off, I actually really liked this movie. I haven't seen the original How to Train Your Dragon since it came out in theaters. But when I was younger, I feel like I was not like a big fan of the series. Like I didn't dislike the original movie, but I feel like it was one of those movies where maybe I did even like it when I saw it, but I feel like I did walk out and go like, I don't need 2 or 3 or like anything like that.
And I don't think they did. If I'm being, as somebody who's a major fan and seen like everything, I come back to the first movie a lot. I don't come back to the second or the third.
Really?
The show sometimes I'll watch, like, because there are good things about it. And I think there are good things about How to Train Your Dragon 2 as well. But the third one
I feel like that's literally what I've heard from like most people is that like it just is kind of like a downward slope from 1 to 2 to 3. And yeah, so 2 maybe has some redeemable aspects, but I heard by 3 a lot of people were just kind of done with it. So I guess a lot of people were expecting how is this going to go with a reboot, which a lot of people are kind of sick of these with Lilo and Stitch and Disney doing every other movie that they have that's animated. As we all know, and I think most of us here are pretty sick of at this point because it's just lazy ultimately.
Stop. Get some help.
And I think this movie like also falls victim to a lot of those things. Like I think it is all of those things, but like I think it's one of the everyone's gonna have it different. Like even though it's slop, even though it's not the best, I think this was one of the ones where I was like, I'm actually pretty entertained. Like the dragons and like especially like the action and stuff like that. I was like, I feel like this is kind of working. This aspect of it is working more for me here with this because like it's actually pretty badass and like I'm actually kind of getting into it. Whereas the original, I feel like it's a classic and everyone likes the original, but it's played a lot for laughs. Like even with the designs of like the dragons and stuff like that. So I guess it all just depends on like what you're looking for. If you're looking more for comedy, like then you're gonna love the animated, and the animated is great. But like I think they kind of took that approach, which a lot of movies kind of I feel like also fail with recently, of like trying to make it more realistic. Because I think they kind of tried to do that here. They kind of tried to make this almost Game of Thrones like.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys kind of feel?
Yeah,
that
I felt that a
too,
little bit.
With, like the, I think mainly with like just the not. With what they did, but like the set design and like the costumes and that sort of stuff.
And I agree because like
and the dragons and stuff like that, like how those looked.
I enjoyed this movie, But I mean, I'd never. I'd rather watch the original. I'd
Yeah.
rather watch
Yeah.
the animated, honestly.
I think
That
that's what
100%.
most people said. And
all day.
and like I said, I haven't seen that. When that come out, 2010, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
like it's been 15 years. So like I haven't seen it, like I said, since theater. So like I think if I rewatched it, I'd probably feel the same way. I love animated movies, and especially now that I'm older, because I must have been like 11 or 12 years old when that came out. So I feel like maybe I'd appreciate it more now too, having never rewatched it. But I really like this. I really like the main actor here that was playing Hiccup, Mason Thames.
Oh yeah.
Because in the original it was Jay Baruchel that played him, right? And I think that was one of the things I didn't like as much with like the original, but it's also one of those sort of animated movie things for a lot of people it works with an animated movie is his character, like his voice was just like annoying me in that. And I actually like Jay Baruchel too, but I was just like, he's just annoying me in this. Like his voice is just so like
Well, I mean, he's
cracky
just
and
adolescent,
everything, and
you know,
I know exactly. So, but like, and he's a good kid and everything ultimately. So I didn't like hate the character, but I was always just like, man, his voice is annoying me so much though. Like I don't know why. Just like a small nitpick of mine, that like wouldn't actually like take points off of the movie for, but like I just was like, I did not like this aspect with the character. It's just like one thing with the voice where it didn't work. Like I feel like some people have that problem with like certain movies when it's like a voice just annoys them or something. Like I've heard people feel that way with like Adam Sandler and like Eight Crazy Nights and stuff like that, where it's like his voice is so annoying. Like
I mean,
I guess it was
made to be annoying.
it was almost like slightly one of those things to me.
And this is nothing against the person.
Yeah.
Like the Aquafina, her voice just absolutely goes through me.
Same with her. I don't mind her in most
I don't mind
things,
her in
but
most
she was
things. I love
terrible
her
in Little
in
Mermaid
Shang-Chi.
or whatever.
But I mean, that's just because the rap was just so bad, and we're not going to talk about that. But
That we're not even gonna name that song that shall not be named.
some
from
people
that
have
movie.
that, and I can totally see that for sure. That never was a thing for me. I love Hiccup. I think like in animated, he was such a great character. There's so much like depth there between him and his father, and like the story.
I think
they
that was
build.
better in this, right? Like the whole.
Oh, no.
like,
I'm
relationship between
waiting.
him and
Oh,
the
yeah.
dad.
I'm about to
No.
rip this thing apart
Really?
Yeah.
as soon as
Okay, well, know what? One thing I did think was a little bit better was the whole guest star Lindsay.
Taking the cameras.
But wait, no, where'd I just leave off?
you were talking about Hiccup's characterization.
Hiccup's
last, I
character.
think.
I think with the dad specifically.
Oh, so I thought the dad was actually his acting and everything here because it's the same actor, Gerard
The
Butler.
actor was fantastic.
I thought he did good. So like I think like I liked the dad's performance, even though it's the same actor.
I think
I liked his performance a little bit better in this live action because he was able to
Totally.
express more and everything. Because Gerard Butler's, I don't think really known as like a animated actor really either, right? So
No.
I
Not
didn't
that
think
I
he
know of.
did bad, but like I never thought he was standout or anything in that original
there
film.
were definitely some scenes though that like stuck out, and there's scenes too that weren't in the original animated film also that they added that were very out of place for the film.
I got good notes on that.
Yeah.
Do you think that's
I
gonna
got
be like
good
mileage
notes on
may
that.
vary? Because like if you've seen the original, like or especially recently or something, it's like this is stupid. Why are they doing this? But if like you're someone that's new, kind of like me, like you might just be like, I don't mind this as much.
So I think it's extremely interesting that you say that because one of the things I was thinking coming in to see this movie, I had seen two different types of reviews. One on one end saying this movie is great, I loved it, it's awesome, it looks great,
Yeah.
don't listen to what the other people are saying, go see it.
Did seem
then
like
there
one of
was
those sort of
the-
movies.
There was the completely opposite take also that I saw equal amounts of, which was this movie is terrible, it's nothing like the original, it sucks, don't waste your money,
Yeah.
don't go see it.
So it seemed like a lot like the hardcore fans kind of.
So I
Doing a
was
lot of
going
that
into
sort of
this
stuff.
movie thinking, where is the disconnect here?
Mm.
Because, a lot of movies you see reviews and I feel like they're sort of like mixed. This seemed extremely like far opposite end. Either you loved it or you hated it. And I was like people were passionate about this movie one way or the other.
I think that's been with a lot of things recently. I think that's even been the way with like movies like Superman and stuff like that too. Like people either love it or they hate it. They like it's just kind of the way things go nowadays. And I think that is the because like you seem to not like this. You didn't
No,
like
I
this
hate
as
it.
much, right? That's great. Like, would you say this like to you? Like, this would be one of those movies you'd be like, I would roast this. Like,
I would unalive Dean DeBlois.
in
if
Minecraft.
given the
In Minecraft.
In
In
Minecraft.
In real
that's
life.
great.
No, for legal reasons, only in Minecraft.
It could be one of those movies even like where I just rewatch it and I'm like, I hate this now. But like somehow like I just thought this was one of those live action what would you even call them? Live action reboots, I guess.
Remake.
Yeah.
Remake, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
live action remakes that like I thought was actually pretty passable. It's not like anything like amazing, but like it's it
At the
entertains
very
you.
least, it brought it to another generation.
That too.
Which
True.
you
I
know,
think they could have done it better though.
Oh,
is my
definitely.
thing.
Oh,
Like I don't want to
Always.
give them the not the shittiest movie you could have made award.
Yeah.
Like
Did this have the same director as the original movie
it
though?
is, but I have interesting things to say about that. I think.
Yeah, isn't he
So this the
Mystery
original movie
guest.
was written by according to what I read, like a few different people, Dean being one of them. And
Really?
when I heard, I don't have like concrete evidence of this. It's whispers around the internet spaces I've been in, but I've heard that like he got most of the credit for the success of the original movie, and that's why he's the main guy on it now. Like
Okay.
he's sort of gotten
Was that the same
full
sort of stuff?
control.
Because didn't he do Lilo and Stitch too?
Did he?
I don't
think he
I don't
did.
know
That's-
much
I think that's
about
what I had
Lilo
read.
and Stitch, to be honest.
Jamie, look that up.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. You don't do much.
I think he's the main name on the live action one. So going in, I
Dean
was thinking
Dean DeBlois. I don't know how to
call
say
him
his
Dean
name.
DeBlois because for some reason that sounds better to me. But
I just saw his picture and I kind of see that. I see the joke already.
This poor man.
Oh.
oh,
Guys. Come on. Yeah, he did Lilo and
Good
Stitch.
job.
Give
Edgy
this
joke for the
give this
win.
man
No, that wasn't
give this
meant to
man
be a joke.
respect. He did Lilo and Stitch, the original, not the live action.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
really?
Yeah.
That's
He was a writer.
interesting. Then why
That-
does this movie?
Well, I mean, okay, we don't know how. Hold on, we don't know how much he did. He could have just gotten his name on it, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, because watching the live action, I
was
was
my cat
going in
upstairs.
thinking I'm about to find out which parts he wrote and which parts he didn't.
Mm.
Like, because I feel like with the remakes, sometimes what's important to me is that they retain the heart of the original. They can change characterizations of characters, they can change lines, they can change jokes. I'm not particular about those sort of things.
Yeah.
But I want to see that even if this is a completely different movie, I want to see that like the heart of what it was is still there. And I don't feel like for me the live action movie had what I was looking for. And I think that's a lot of why people are so divided. It depends on what you're looking for in this live action movie.
I
Because
think
there are a lot of good things about it, and I don't want to rip it apart without
Yeah.
going over without talking about all of its merits.
there's a
as
lot of
well.
forced
Yeah.
stuff. There's a lot of forced stuff here, like especially the love interest plot line and everything.
Mm.
I thought that was very rushed, where it was
Yeah.
kind of like, what
Yeah.
the
Even
fuck?
in the
like,
first one, I thought it was weird.
the
Yeah.
animated movie. Yeah, I think I've heard people say that too, and I don't even remember it in the original
I
animated
mean,
movie.
I will say they did a better job at the romance part in the second movie. I believe that was like one thing people really praised.
Oh, and the
actually,
How to
about
Train
it.
Your Dragon too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
really?
The actual animated.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah, definitely.
They fleshed that out a
Way
lot, really
better.
well.
Yeah,
Way
yeah,
better.
totally agree.
It is a downward slide though. Like you look at these reviews here, and it's like 8.1 for the original, 7.8 for the second, and then 7.4 for the third one. But this live action has a 7.9, so it's actually like pretty in line with the first how people's opinions are of the original animated movie. So I guess so on here on Spoiled It, we also go into spoilers after a certain point. And I think we're going to do that soon, actually. But I want people to kind of give, like, I guess their overall opinion of this. Like, Silas, how did you ultimately feel about this movie?
It was mid to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even though we were just talking about it's either one or the extreme, I was literally just in the middle.
Yeah.
Like,
That's funny.
I know.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I really am.
I think that's kind of how I am, too. But, like, I think it's because my expectations are so low with these fucking live action
That definitely
remakes.
helps.
Yeah. I think this is like passable, like I said. I think it's just passable for me. I don't think I'd like rewatch this a lot or anything, but like
I don't think I would. I'd
Yeah,
just watch
I don't think
it,
I'd
literally to me I'd rather just watch the original.
That's
at that
exactly
point.
what I was
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
say. I was gonna say I would not rewatch this movie just because I like the original way better, and that's where I'm gonna go 100% of the time. Not that they did any. Again, like there are things I like about this movie. I did watch it and have fun.
But just because
and
of our
enjoy it.
age and everything and how we
And-
grew up with that.
And it's like the visuals were really good. Like I liked specific stuff about like that. Like I thought like they did like a lot of practical effects really cool. Like some of the homes were built
Oh, yeah.
very, very beautiful.
Oh yeah,
The
that was
costuming
really
and,
cool.
like,
That was
the
really cool
woodwork,
too.
like-
Work, everything. Like there was some heart put in on their behalf.
There were a few costumes I thought looked a little
Yes,
weird. Like Hiccup was
definitely.
definitely wearing a hoodie at one point,
Yep.
but I'm sure
Yeah.
that wasn't the fault of the costuming
Yeah.
department. Like,
Wait, what?
yeah, if you look in some of those scenes, he's got basically like a hoodie on, and
hoodie?
I feel like there were a couple of those where I was like, huh. But then you look at other stuff like intricate carved woodwork with dragon
Right.
details, and it's beautiful.
And
And,
some
I
of-
thought Stoic's costume,
Oh
like
yeah,
his,
Yeah.
definitely.
Like,
He looked great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, besides like a few little things like the hoodie and stuff, I think that
Yeah.
I think those like supporting characters kind of annoyed me in this too. Like those
Yeah.
like
Oh god, yeah. They
Like,
were way
the
more.
kid from
the other
like they were
kids are
kid from
less.
Yes.
Deadpool.
Yeah,
fat kid
that's all I
from
could see
Deadpool
is
and
like, the kid
everything.
from Deadpool every time he was on screen.
You're
I think
right.
that's was that shit, is his name Snotlout?
Snotlout. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
dragon
something
nerd.
snot or
No,
something.
No,
that's Fish
that's
Legs.
Fish Legs.
Fish
Yes.
Legs is the
Yeah,
dragon nerd
okay,
in the
yeah, yeah.
movies. He's different in the books.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
But
And
in
better.
this movie,
That actor's
especially,
name is Julian Dennison, Fish Legs.
I like his actor. This movie specifically, I just couldn't stand him for real.
Yeah, because he just kept saying dumb shit. Like he just kept saying like all this like stuff like he was smart, but you were like, kid, shut up.
Yeah. It felt
Kid
a little
from
forced.
Deadpool.
It was just forced.
Kid
and
from
like again, I
Deadpool,
kept
quit
seeing
it.
the kid from Deadpool.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
because I mean he's iconic in
You
that
expected
regard.
Ryan Reynolds to show up and just start like fucking roasting the kid.
Yeah.
The kid's just gonna have a fucking crash out.
Like you can't. Unfortunately, when an actor gets that big, like I feel like you can't like cast them in a role like that.
Mm.
I feel like. Well, I mean,
It's
I don't
hard to
know.
break
It's
out
hard to
of.
break out of. Maybe it's possible with some people, but like I feel like I don't know if Tom Holland was in this film, all I would see is Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like that's just the effect they have on the.
I feel like they could make this kid Spider-Man.
This kid?
Yeah.
Right.
No.
What?
No. Don't give them ideas. Bless you.
Just start derailing this shit into a total
Excuse
nerd
me.
conversation about whether
Absolutely
this
not.
I'm
kid
allergic
can
to
be the
bad
new
takes.
Spider-Man.
It's just- Damn, sorry.
I like this. I think I like this
I liked the
actor a lot in
He was good.
this. Yeah.
And he's in something else I thought too that I saw him in, maybe a horror film.
Oh really?
Maybe is it Black Phone 2?
Let's see.
Black Phone 2, I think, maybe. And I saw him, I was like, Hiccup?
Oh, is that coming out? Oh, he's in Black Phone. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe he's coming in the next one too.
Mm,
Yep. Yeah, he's gonna be in the next one too.
yeah.
And the next How to Train Your Dragon. Wow.
Oh, great.
He's coming back?
Yeah.
Surprise,
So-
surprise.
Mm.
I wasn't mad at Hiccup's characterization in the live action
Mhm.
as much as I was other characters. I will say
What about
that
Astrid?
Oh, I got a lot to say about Astrid.
Oh boy.
For Hiccup, I think in the books,
Do
he
you guys think-
definitely reads.
Can I say something real quick
Yeah.
though? Do you think like we even need to have like the spoiler thing later in this? Like, is there even really like spoilers?
I
It's a
don't think
10-year
so.
movie. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
There's a few things different about
Spoilers.
it, but nothing super spoilery. Since I think, we can go. We'll go into it. I'm sure. I got notes.
Yeah.
But what they change actually, like,
well, no one
in my
like,
opinion,
di-
spoils the
no
movie
one
really
dies or
early,
anything
so-
from what I
Yeah.
remember,
In-
right? There's no like deaths or anything, right?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any deaths
So-
in the movie.
Unless
So
you
yeah,
count
I guess
Hiccup,
Yeah, unless
so I guess like this one might actually just be like we're just kind of going all in basically because like we said it's a remake.
right.
So it's like it'll be like you said of a 15-year-old movie. So it's
but
just
in case you need a warning for a 10-year-old movie,
you've been warned.
spoilers.
You've been
warned.
Spoiled it. Spoiled
for
it.
15 because it came out in
15.
2010.
Yeah, you're right. Dang.
It's starting to show its age a
Ugh.
little bit, but watching it again, it's still it still looks awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A few
I want to see it in
spots
like
look
4K
clunky,
because
but-
I saw they came out with that for like all
That's
three of the
cool.
movies.
We should do a night
now.
and watch that.
Yeah, like a
I would
trilogy
definitely- I
night.
would implore you to watch the original
We
one
should
again
do.
since
We
it's
haven't done
been
any
so
like
long.
outdoor movie nights yet. We should definitely.
Oh, that would be really fun.
Hmm.
Did you like Nick Frost as the Gobber character?
I have things to say about almost all of the characters,
Oh boy.
just because, and I could go over like each one, but
Mm.
I'll say for the vast majority of them, like the characterizations of them are different, and that doesn't so much matter to me as much as if you're gonna do that, you should make a good character.
Yeah.
And
Not
some
like
of
kind
them
of
were
one-dimensional or something, I guess.
yeah, or like the characterization would be different, but they would have the same lines, and now the lines don't quite fit because they're not delivered the same, and like
Oh, that was a
it
big one.
doesn't-
Or they changed plot things so it just doesn't work the same or have the same effect or something.
That
maybe.
was a
Yeah,
big
I-
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
They
changed.
changed a lot
They
about
the
how
dialogue
story
wasn't
runs.
given in the same way that the original movie delivered it.
Oh.
Like there was moments where I feel like you mentioned like kind of like between Hiccup and his father,
Yeah.
where they're like kind of talking and just like they're a little awkward with each other, but it's not the same as like the animated film.
Mm.
Would you mind if I go into my notes a little
Yeah, of course.
bit? So the first thing I wrote was weird pacing. I felt like some scenes went very fast and some scenes were drawn out more.
Can I ask a question with the pacing? Like, did you think it was like act wise, like act 1, 2, 3? Like, how do you think pacing was like in
I
terms of?
felt like it was just weird. Like I felt like they were almost rushing through some scenes. There
Mm.
were some jokes
like at the
that,
start, or just
throughout.
throughout all of it, all 3 acts.
Throughout.
Yeah.
It felt like they would be rushing through some things and then sitting on others, which
Mhm.
isn't like a bad thing if done correctly. But there were some places where it felt like it was a little drawn out for me.
Yeah.
And then some scenes where it felt like they were rushing through, where I'm like, no, this is important dialogue. Like, why aren't we sitting on this?
Well,
Like,
especially if you know the characters, like which like I think is like one of the things that like I said, especially having not seen it in so long too. Like I think these are very baseline. Like I said, like almost one-dimensional, especially like the friend characters or whatever. Like where you're like, there's no dimension to these characters.
They took it all out. It's all
Yeah.
empty. The
Yeah.
original film, the animated film, did a better job at actually having some dimension to those characters.
You think
yeah.
At some for sure.
instead of just kind of making it all
Instead
a
of
joke,
just
like,
making it
kinda
all a
trying to
joke
do,
and,
an
like,
MCU movie or something,
It
basically.
just it fell flat in this live action, in my opinion. They
Mm.
just weren't as interesting, Like I
Yeah.
can't even remember half of them in the film. Like, I'll let you continue because you got some good stuff.
I agree.
Yes.
I think I'd say like the 3 highlights at least though are like the Mason Thames, like the main kid,
Yeah.
So after Mason
Gerard
Thames-
Butler, the stoic character, and then the Nick Frost or whatever. Like I think like, actually I don't know, he was just okay actually, but like Gerard Butler and Mason Thames, I thought like they had like good chemistry at least, even though like some of the scenes like
Fell flat.
fell flat or weren't like anything like super stand out.
Yeah.
I just thought like that was better. Like it was actually like, as I think this came out around Father's Day too. Like I feel like this could be like a good movie to like watch, like fathers and sons to kind of
Yeah.
watch and stuff like that too. Like I feel like like it might be good for that sort of movie too.
So
Especially with like younger kids, you know. And like you said, like a whole new this is for a whole new generation of How to Train Your Dragon fans and everything too. So I think like watching this with your family and stuff like that, like I feel like there might not be a ton to it, but it's like a fun summer popcorn flick ultimately.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those ones where it's almost like you just have to accept it because we're just getting so many these live action reboots nowadays.
Yeah. It's just gonna fall into the sea and the ocean of remakes. you
Like I
know?
said, like that could be biasing my opinion right now, where like these are just always so bad that like I'm just like,
No, it's not. It's bad.
yeah.
it also, like I said, I think it's what you're looking for out of the movie that it makes this movie feel good or bad.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm looking for the things I love about the first movie and that I also love about the books are completely gone from the live action entirely, which is why I hate it so much.
Well, because of the exact thing I just said, where it's almost like a mindless, fun summer blockbuster thing. They take so much of a heart out of things like that sometimes, I think, right? Where like they
Yeah.
just are like, this is gonna rank in the box office numbers, guys, which this has.
Yeah.
Like that's why we're still reviewing this, even though it's been out for
It's
like
done
a couple
well.
of weeks. It's doing so well around the world right now. It's like number 3 most successful movie,
Which,
right?
in my opinion, I contribute just to the fact that you got a good Toothless design in the animated film.
Yeah,
Like
And
the
this just
original
copies
animated,
it
and it just
and
copies
bases
it. And
so it's
people
like,
love
okay.
Toothless.
He
that
actually looks a
style.
little dry.
He
to
does
me
look
in
a little
the
dry to
movie.
me.
He looks
No,
dry.
you're right. You're absolutely 100%
I think
right.
that's like, I like
He's
the
got, like,
dragon
a-
designs in
But
a
I
lot
just
of
mean,
other
like,
cases, but I think
yes.
like with Toothless, I'm almost like,
He was the most
this looks
important one to
exactly
get right.
like the original. Just you copy and pasted it, and it almost looks not bad, but like kind of weird. Where like it is literally the original, so it's like this kind of looks weird in live action for it to be exactly like how it was
Yeah.
in the original animated movie. When so many of the other dragons look like Game of Thrones now or something. So I think that was definitely a kind of like a what the fuck with this movie too. But yeah, so I guess like, is there any other pluses we want to talk about with this movie? Like things that we think it did well before we kind of just
So
go
I
into
I have some things to say.
yes.
Take the floor.
Sorry.
Go,
Take the
go.
floor.
Like, I mean that
Take the
more because
lead.
I've been ripping it apart so far pretty hard, and I do have some nice things to say about it also because,
Nice.
like you said, it introduces it to another generation. Even
Yep.
if I
Well, you are
don't
fair.
like it,
Yeah.
that I also
It might inspire them to go read the books. You know
It
what I
might
mean? That's
inspire
how
them to
I
go
see
view the
it.
other
Or I try
Exactly.
content,
to.
That's
and
why
then
I always
also,
try to
like-
look into those things too, where it's like it might just get people into the franchise now, where they start watching all the other movies and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, ultimately, this is only a good thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and like I think that's pretty awesome. I think
And
there's always potential they could even improve maybe the sequels, like because you said the sequels kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
And I think it's a
that
downside that we're-
unfortunately, I think they fell apart because of the direction that Dean was going. If
Yeah,
I'm understanding it correctly.
So maybe he shouldn't return.
Yeah.
But
they're
he
doing-
probably will.
But he probably will. Yeah, exactly.
Unless somebody else wrote this movie and he just slapped his name all over it.
Wait,
because,
we can check.
Because I think
see
Chris
if Dean's
Sanders was
attached to
somebody
it
else
yet.
who wrote the first one, and I think there was one other person as well. So it was Dean, Chris Sanders, and one other person who wrote the first one.
What else did you have that was positive about the film?
He is
though?
doing the second one. He's writing it at least.
I
Oh,
think
great.
we already covered like costume and props a little
Yep.
bit, where
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
that they did a stellar
And he's
job
directing it.
combining.
So he will
Oh,
be
yeah.
doing too. So.
If you remember at the end of the
Yay.
live action, he wrote his name a bunch of times.
Oh yeah, it was
It
all
was
over the
written
place.
by Dean,
In
produced
big
by
letters,
Dean,
all over the ocean.
And then at the very end, one more time, he said a
Dean.
film by Dean.
I
like,
didn't.
and
I didn't stick around because I heard the post credits for this. Did you guys stick around for that?
Yeah, I think we
This,
did.
wasn't it
Did we?
stupid?
I
And it
don't
was just like
remember.
his sketch or something.
Oh
and it
yes,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah. It was
what
just
the
him putting the stamping the sketch in the book.
oh
You remember that?
no,
It was the empty.
I was so
Were
checked out. I
were
was
you
so
like,
mad for
Were you
real.
like, that's the dumbest fucking post credits I've ever seen?
I mean, I sat through Captain America telling me, fucking, I've sat through a movie.
No, but
You're
that's
still
literally.
here.
You're
but
still
what,
here, huh?
What it sounds like this post credits
So-
is something we've already seen in the movie, though, from what I've heard.
Yeah. I
The
mean,
sketch or whatever for
It was a
Toothless's
silly
design
it
or
was a silly-
whatever.
I mean, you gotta end it with something, I guess. But like, there's no. It's not a post credit.
Yeah.
That's not a post credit, in my opinion.
It makes me angry if you make me wait through all the credits and then you give me nothing.
Yeah.
Unless it's literally, if there's no scene, that's fine. But if you're like, there's a post-credit scene and then
Right.
it's
Yeah.
nothing,
Exactly.
I'm like,
No,
Yeah.
I
exactly.
just left 5 minutes ago.
Well, that's
Especially
what
when
I-
it's something you could just thrown literally right before the credits.
Well, that's what I was. I
This-
heard
this
they were
could have been an
telling people
email.
with the
This could have been
early.
an
I heard they were like at the early screenings of this movie. They had like some of the people there sometimes, like basically going like, "Oh, guys, you gotta stay for the post credit scene." Like,
Yeah.
the big and it's like, really, that you're gonna tell me to stay for this shit? Like, fuck you. Like,
Dean
this
just wanted you to see all his names. He just wanted you to see every single name that was up there before he threw
is-
I was
something at the end.
I was so mad at him because I didn't like the movie. So then when I was sitting there at the end, arms crossed, like ready to
Mhm.
get out of here, just seeing his name fly by once, twice, 3 times, I'm like, all right, I know, dude, you made
Dean
you made the
DeBoer.
movie, like
I mean, I get the
Dean.
same
I
feeling.
can tell. No, but no, I had some strong feelings at the end of that movie.
yeah.
But
Almost lost your notes there.
almost lost my notes.
My notes.
My notes. Not that I would forget.
The books.
Other things that I think are good about it are while the dragons aren't my favorite, what I love about the books and the first movie, I think the medium is delivered better in animation because the dragons are silly and fun. And they're supposed
Yeah.
to be
And is that
sort
more
of
like the book?
whimsical and
Yeah.
silly, fun, whimsical, like, and I love that about the first movie. That being said, I didn't dislike the new dragon designs.
Yeah.
Like, they're not the dragons that I love, but they're cool dragons still, right? Like,
It helps
they're-
with the it's like I said,
Yeah.
like I think it all depends what you're looking for, and it did.
Right.
I think like I
Yeah.
think you can even agree like with all the downsides, it helped with like the action. I think.
Mhm.
Right.
I think that's like the
definitely.
only plus of like moving this to live action now, like you said, because obviously we all agree where it's like probably just watch the original,
Right.
but like the action here like is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then seeing like the actor Gerard Butler revisit the character too, and I think do a better job with that character now and everything too. Because I think he's just better as a live action actor. He can bring more emotion to that character and everything. To me personally, and I know like most people don't agree with this, but I thought like they actually were better in the live action, like the whole dad dynamic with him. But I know like I said, I know most people do not think that is the case.
Yeah.
But like to me personally, I don't know. Like I said, I think it's like more because I like the dad's performance in this or something.
I did. I liked
I
his
can see
acting.
that.
I liked his act.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, and again, like that's a movie that like hits the heart, man. Like just the portrayal between Hiccup and his father. Just
Yeah.
is always such a heavy. You know,
Yeah.
like when he basically disowns him and like locks him in the room, and it's just like, dude,
But-
man.
I can also saying that though, it was kind of baked how he just like disowns Hiccup, and then at
Bless
the
you.
very end,
Bless you.
like, bless ya.
Thank you.
He disowns Hiccup, and then at the very end, he basically ends up like. He disowns Hiccup, and then at the very end, he basically just ends up trying to like he almost gets killed, and then they save him,
Yep.
and then basically it's almost like he's like, "You're my son again," like, and I'm just like, That
Wait,
was
you gonna
kinda-
hate your
you
son
got
still
some
after
Yeah.
that?
She's
Yeah.
got some stuff on this you're gonna want to hear.
okay, go
So-
into that then.
So what I love about both the books and the first movie, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna focus on the movie because it's more relevant.
Yeah.
Is that Hiccup and his dad are very different, but also very similar. And
Yeah.
I think the first movie does a better job of showing you that.
The animated, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there are specific scenes that, like, for example, very, very early in the movie, both Stoic and Hiccup separately vent to Gobber about each other. And they both say that the other one doesn't listen. And to Hiccup, Gobber says it runs in the family.
So and it sounds like already, from what I can tell, like they make that kind of a theme in the movie or something, which
and
they
with-
just didn't take
Yeah.
on here at
No.
all, really.
Yeah.
With
I mean,
every
that's part of the
scene-
problem with it, I think, too, and I can even see that plainly too, even though I didn't mind it or I even kind of liked it. They separate them throughout so much of this movie too, so there can't really be development between
Right.
the father and son. You don't have it as much in this either, so I think that can make it feel more forced and everything too when they do it. So
do.
do it.
I
Really?
like that for every time there's a difference, they also show you at the same time where they're similar.
Yeah.
Like another good example is one of my favorites is I love their first awkward talk, but their second awkward talk I like a lot because they feel so far apart. Stoic walks in and is like, "It's so awesome that you've been doing so good in the ring. Now we can talk about killing and murdering dragons."
Oh, yep, yeah.
And the awkwardness is palpable.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. And then they, when Stoic leaves, you see Hiccup put his hands on his hips and sort of like sigh. And then you cut to Stoic outside and he does the exact same thing.
Yeah, I remember that. That was
Oh
the better
yeah.
scene.
So it does. That's like the rare case where they kind of show what you were talking about a little bit with like how they're the same.
And they wrap it all up with when Hiccup flies in to save the day and everyone is riding
Yo.
dragons. Gobber leans over to Stoic and says, "He's every bit the boar-headed, stubborn Viking you ever were." And Stoic, looking impressed, just nods like, "Yes." Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you right.
You right, you right.
Didn't like he think dragons killed his wife or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's not
Yeah.
covered until the second movie.
Yes.
Though. That's
Oh,
lore they
really?
added.
Yeah.
One of the things
Oh.
I think makes the
That's when you
movie
get the
series
best
going
scene.
forward.
Dragons killed my wife.
Is I love when they set up things for later,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't do that a lot in the How to Train Your Dragon movies. I don't like when movies start with a ton of lore to get you started on this movie.
Yeah,
Like they could
exposition
have
dump.
put that. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
They could have put
You're just like,
more
what
of
the
that
fuck
into
is
the.
this?
Damn,
Yeah.
that feels like a roast to every Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You
and
know
not
what?
to get into Star Wars-
Controversial opinion. I think that's fucking opening crawl is dumb as shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say not to get into Superman is what I meant.
Oh yeah,
but
that
that
Super
they,
one
they
in
do that
Superman. I
in
was like,
Superman as well, and the James Gunn Superman. I was like, I didn't mind it because it was quick, but I was just like, dude,
3
all right.
years ago this happened.
I
and
hate-
3
I hate
days
the
ago this
reading.
happened. 3 minutes ago this happened, and then 3 seconds ago this
Yeah,
happened.
yeah. It was a little campy, but I didn't want to get into Superman. I was just
Yeah.
that was something to.
Yeah,
On the brain.
we had to quickly roast that. We're sorry.
As a final note on Hiccup and his father, they changed some lines between the original movie and the live action that I think were actually very important, which is before Hiccup flies off to
Mm.
go head to head with the big ass dragon.
Yeah,
Stoic grabs his hand and they have like one final conversation, right?
yeah.
In
Is this when he disowns him?
No, this is after. This is when he flies in to save the day. And,
Okay, after that. So when he woke up from...
So Hiccup goes to save Toothless while the other kids distract the dragon, and he's unable to free Toothless below the water and almost drowns.
Yeah.
And Stoic saves him and Toothless, and
Yo.
Hiccup climbs on Toothless's back to go take on head-to-head the mountain-sized dragon, and Stoic grabs his hand, and they have one final conversation.
That's right.
In the first movie, he says, "I'm sorry." And Hiccup says, "I'm sorry too." And Stoic says, "I'm proud that you're my son."
So it was like a really like touching, heartfelt moment.
In the live action, they change it, and Stoic grabs his hand and says, "I was only trying to protect you." And Hiccup says, "I know."
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just different.
Yeah.
It's
The
not
weight is
bad,
different.
but it is different.
Right.
Yeah. And I think it leads to like what I said, like where maybe they realized, oh shit, we kind of like pushed this to the side, like where we didn't focus on it as much in this as we did in the original.
Yeah, I think it's the "I'm sorry" hits different, and they both apologize because they were both wrong.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
And
I
it's
feel
them
like the
in
new
sync
line
still.
It was a
shirk accountability a
miscommunication.
little bit.
There was a miscommunication aspect to it ultimately at the end of the day that it seems like maybe there's a piece of that missing too. But yeah, I think ultimately like is there a lot of other stuff you want to go into too?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay, hell yeah.
I
Because
actually
we have plenty of
since
time.
we're talking about Stoic and that thing. I actually one thing part I actually didn't care for in the live version either though. You know the part after he disowns him, you see he goes on the other side of the door and all that.
Yes.
And like in the original, you actually see the like more. Maybe it's just an animation reason, but you see he looks more sad that he actually.
No,
has to
you're
do
right.
it.
Totally.
Yeah.
In the original one, where once he closes those doors, you just see him like looking absolutely devastated that he actually had to disown his kid, thinking it's for the best of him.
Yeah.
In the new version, he doesn't look as sad. He doesn't look
Doesn't he
sad
just
as much.
storm
He's
off?
just like.
Yeah.
I do remember. I think
Anyway,
I do
anyway,
remember
yeah.
that.
100% correct, and I agree.
Yeah.
I think I do
'cause-
actually even remember that now, like that you guys are talking about like that. Yeah. Like I just think there's
The weight
and
is
that's one of the
different.
benefits of
exactly.
animation and stuff even too.
His
Yeah.
face is very expressive. You see him step outside the door, and then you see what he just did actually hit him. And you see, at credit to the animators, like you see in his eyes and his face change, like you said. And he actually staggers backward a little bit as well, like he's overcome with emotion for a second.
Exactly. You see like a man that's almost like fucking feeling like he's like, damn, I might cry a little bit. Hold up.
Yeah.
Gotta get.
Big
Like,
Viking
holy
dude.
He's like fighting his emotions of what he thinks is best versus what he knows what he just did is kind of fucked up.
And ultimately, that has more
Exactly.
weight than what they did in the live action film.
Yeah.
It bears different weight. That's
Yeah.
what it does.
Yeah.
Most of my criticisms come from things just like this, where I feel like the writing is just worse in the live action. Like they took the first one and they made the same
Oh, it always
movie,
is.
but
It's like that's like
worse.
a mandate, like that
Like-
comes down from. Guys, we
That's
gotta make it a
requirement.
little bit worse. This is actually a little
Can't be the
too good.
original.
This is a little too good, guys.
We changed
What,
the
sir?
writing and
What?
we made it worse.
Make it dumber. I don't know what to tell you.
Lilo and Stitch moment.
Oh
Anyway.
no.
You also
Make you jump for the bad guy. I don't know what to tell you.
You mentioned Astrid too as
Yo.
another character, and I can go on a lot about Astrid because, and I'll try to make it as short as possible. But
Yeah, she was like, I feel like I kind of was interested in the character at the start, but then at like eventually it was just it went into, like I said, like that totally predictable love interest, just sort of side support. I don't know. I just was like, this is just getting so predictable and everything, and I don't remember that from the original movie.
No,
Did
you
that
don't.
pretty much play out very differently.
Astrid is a very different character in the live action than she is
Yeah.
in the original. Like
That's what I
very, very
figured.
different. And this actually touches a couple of different major criticisms I have, which is writing, which is also let me take a over-explaining what I've written as quote-unquote girl power.
Fair.
Where I think by trying to introduce more girl power, they actually take it away by going like overboard and weird about it.
Yeah, I think that's a movie's problem a lot of the time is like when they just try to force it sometimes, and like it's just like you don't need to announce it, you don't need to like do whatever. Like it's it's kind of like that whole principle of almost like a badass doesn't announce like we're going to a room and go like I'm badass or something. You know?
Exactly.
Yep. It's the difference between someone naturally feeling like a badass and everyone's like, oh shit, that's a cool dude, and then the other one just feels like you're like, oh. People, it's the difference between showing and telling type of thing.
Yeah.
When someone tells you that this, but doesn't really show it as much, it's like,
Exactly.
when you show it and no one explains, you naturally just like, oh, badass.
Yeah.
Sick person.
Exactly.
She's great.
So it's almost like to do less work makes you more badass, actually.
Yeah. And so Astrid in the first movie, like a lot of the kids pick on Hiccup, but Astrid actually doesn't. You can tell she doesn't like him, but she's not picking on him. She's not concerned about him. That's not her main goal here. Is she's just trying to protect her village.
So it's like she kind of acts like he doesn't exist, almost even more like.
Kind of. I think she's just unconcerned. Like her goal is she wants to protect the village. She's going to go through dragon training. She's going to become a kick-ass dragon fighter, and
kind
she's
of telling this live
village.
action she's always kind of interested in him.
She's almost hazing him. Like
Oh,
I feel like
she-
she's a
she
bully.
Hates him, it
Yeah.
feels
She
like.
hates him.
Especially like that whole thing of apparently her saying that
She's
Hiccup might become in
constantly-
charge, and this seems
Oh,
like a
yeah.
chip on her shoulder.
Constantly
So-
on his ass.
She's
about,
constantly
like,
Anakin Skywalkering and just yelling, "I hate you."
So I think the reason this falls under tell and not show also is because in the original movie, like she's not picking on Hiccup, and she also is very quietly the most kick-ass kid in class.
Okay.
Like you can see when they walk into the dragon ring and when they walk around that the other kids sort of
But
follow
you didn't
behind her.
like the Zack Snyder slow-mo, like when they had like cool action scenes with her?
I think the love interest thing felt weird to me just personally. I don't love the
No, I didn't
Subplot.
either.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
as a character, like, she's pretty cool though. And you also see her in the dragon, in the arena. She just kicks ass, and when Gobber asks a question, she's got the right answer. Like, she just is like pretty kick-ass.
Yeah.
And I think also because her main goal is that she just wants to protect the village, it's more believable when she turns around, like when Hiccup shows her like dragons are actually like not what we think they are. I think she's more open to it because she wants to protect the village. Like if we don't have to fight dragons, then we don't have to fight. Like that's a route we can take to protect the village.
Yeah.
In the live action one, they do a lot of tell, where they tell you she's the most kick-ass person in class, and
That's a
then
good
she
point.
sort of doesn't deliver.
Yeah. They have like very few scenes of her actually kind of being badass.
Yeah.
And some of her lines were delivered weaker. Like one of the ones that hit me the hardest is when Hiccup wins and gets to kill the dragon. Like she starts swinging her axe around in anger, going, "Son of a half troll!" And in the live action, it's more like "son of a half troll," like, and she's sort of weakly swinging around the axe, as opposed to in the animated one, she's angry. She's got weight behind it. She's letting out her anger. She's like, you can hear it in her voice, the voice acting, like.
Maybe it's just like one of those things. Like I just think it's the medium almost. Like it's like almost like when you go with like the character of Abby from Last of Us in the video game to like Last of Us in the TV show.
Right.
You know, like it's one of those things when you change the medium and you change it in this way. It's like you're kind of changing fundamental things about the character, though. You know what I mean?
And
Absolutely.
either rewrite the character or cast differently, because
Another
I feel like
guest.
she comes.
And he's been on the show before. Look at the camera.
Time no see. I'm probably going back to sleep.
Back to sleep, Sonal.
Back
Good
to
night,
sleep.
King.
He's sleeping in the Harry Potter bed.
Under the stairs.
Under the stairs. Where all the debris falls from the ceiling onto him as he sleeps.
Little cousin comes and fucking wakes him up. Wake up! Wake up, anyway.
He'll be back. He'll be back on a review someday. But he's tired right now. But yeah, what other notes do you have, Leah?
So, I have so many. So the one thing I just like.
What do
to
you think?
mention
Like the
quickly-
percentage? Like, do you think we're like a third of the way through, or like half?
I feel like it. I guess it depends on how far we want to go into
Damn.
things. Because I could go over. I could go over every single character individually if we wanted to.
Okay.
Which I don't expect us
What's
to do.
what's the
but
top
I
thing you
can.
wanted to mention?
So it's sort of like I feel like I could actually take a step backwards and go over like the overarching things instead, which is like so one of the things I missed about the live action that I want to at least quickly mention is the original movie has this dry, sarcastic sense of humor that is throughout the whole movie. It's in the writing. Like, it's got this snappy, quick-witted, dry, sarcastic sense of humor.
Yeah,
And
where it's kind of unique.
the writing is locked tight.
It's
Like,
kinda
every
unique
line has
to
payoff.
that movie in a way, almost like something like Wallace and Gromit or something, where it's like very unique to the movie in a way where you don't see it in a lot of that sort of approach to comedy and a lot of other things where it's more dry or more
It's more
adult.
British humor than
Yeah,
American
more
humor.
British kind of in a way, if that makes any sense.
And it, like, the movie is written that way. Like, it's
Yeah.
written to be delivered this way. And so things don't come across the same without that sense of humor, which is non-existent in the live action. And so that was actually
it's
a
not like
major
it was
thing
like
for
very
me.
funny or anything. Like we talked about those side characters. You're like,
There was
"God,
also
these are
jokes.
terrible.
Yeah.
Also jokes that they just full on miss. Like in the original movie, anytime Hiccup is in the ring, they show you sort of how he's not the typical Viking, right?
Mhm.
One is like they all roll by with the shields, and the shield's too heavy for him, and he falls back, and
Yo.
the dragon, like that sort of stuff. There's one that they included in the movie where he goes to throw the bucket of water on the two-headed dragon to sort of extinguish it,
Yeah.
and in what feels extremely relatable, it falls just short and falls back hopelessly onto the ground.
Yeah.
And in the original movie, it whoosh, and he's like, "Oh, come on." And it lets that moment be funny.
Yo.
Yeah.
In the new movie, they sort of speed right past it. The water hits the ground and we're off.
Yeah.
And
It's almost like the pacing in like, or not the
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
the
yeah,
pacing.
definitely the pacing.
pacing of a joke almost.
Yeah,
though, or
definitely.
something like that. You know what I mean?
The
Like,
humor.
yeah, where it's. I wouldn't say
Also-
it's horrible, but it's just like I think you're right where it's not as snappy. It's not as like which makes it in theory also just not as funny, you know. So I think
Yeah.
to me so much of this movie, like I said, I think it's just coming from that perspective of like I thought this was going to be terrible. I actually had a fun time here. The actors, like, I think the writing could have been so much better here
Yeah.
with some things. But the actors, I think, all did actually a good job. Even the ones that, like, those stupid kid characters that were, like, annoying me. I think
Yeah.
they did fine. Like, it wasn't their fault. Like, it was just how this was written.
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know?
yeah, I think they suffered from how the movie was written, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
Writer's problem.
Big time.
But, like, that's just the problem to me with, like, so many movies nowadays that, like, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm, like, kind of lenient on that a lot of the time now, too. So I think that's one of those other things with this. I was expecting it to be so poor and maybe even the actors to just, like, not even be that good either since I didn't recognize a lot of the names besides Gerard Butler and Nick Frost. I was like, I don't know, this could just be, like, very ass. Like, I don't have, like, any confidence in this at all.
Yeah.
But people were For the most part, I had heard good things about this. Actually, like, most people were really liking
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I
But
bet
I
if you
think they're-
haven't seen the first one to compare it to, it's probably
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
No,
Like-
literally, and I think, but like that is so interesting, and that's why I like that we have like 4 of us on here, because like I've only seen the first original, and then this new one, of course, that we're reviewing right now.
Right.
You've seen all of them and read the books. Have you seen all the originals?
All the originals, yeah. All three
Yeah,
of
that's
those.
what I thought.
All the 3. Sorry,
So, like,
I
it's
didn't talk
just,
in the mic.
like, to people who are watching, like, know that like these are all kind of different perspectives we're getting, and the mileage like just may vary between everyone with that in regards to that too, you know.
Yeah.
So
Like I have an aggressive take, but I also have been obsessed with the book series, like the
Yeah.
movie, like I've like got such an attachment to the original.
would you say
content
you
that-
could get like entertainment value out of this though, in ways like, or like a lot of ways, even like in, like I said earlier, like maybe even a way where you're like, because you said you thought this was really bad, right?
I wouldn't watch this movie again, and I feel bad because unfortunately I think it has a lot to do with the writing.
Yeah.
Because like the dragons, like for example, they aren't my silly goofy dragons that I love, but that isn't as important to me as the writing. Like they still look
Yeah.
like cool dragons, and not everybody wants the same thing I do. And
Do you
they're
think
also
it's
cool.
more on like a
looking
mediocre
realistic and-
level though, or like do you think it's more on like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
mediocre level though, or like more of a level where you're like, this is so bad, like it's almost funny, where like I feel like I could make fun of this?
I think I didn't find it funny, but I am not sure if it has been enough time yet for me to know whether it's not funny because of my personal attachment and
Yeah.
I'm offended,
Yeah.
and like maybe in time I will laugh at it,
With
or
enough
if it's
dis-
actually
with
just
enough
not funny.
distance.
Yeah.
from it, yeah. No, that's a
Um,
good. At least you're conscious of that and everything too, though.
But yeah, I feel like there are things to like about it for sure. And if you are not like me and you're not obsessed with like the original content and like the first movie is a comfort movie that I've watched over and over and over.
And it's shorter,
and over.
right?
Yeah, it's a little bit shorter.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
What I think is interesting about how they wrote the plot in this one is that they removed one scene and added another.
Really?
And it changes a lot about the movie.
Is it like during what part of the movie did they do that? Like middle or the end, or?
So how the first movie is written is sort of like, so they come from this dragon fighting society, right? The
Yeah.
dragons attack the village, and in response, the village over time have become professional dragon killers.
Okay.
They, to their knowledge, dragons are just they're big, scary, murderous
Yeah.
monsters.
It's almost like the propaganda sort of thing where they're just like, just kill it, like they're evil, like
Yeah.
blah, 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 like just like
Yeah.
don't think about it.
Yeah.
So when Hiccup shoots Toothless down and goes to kill him in the woods,
Yup.
he decides against it. And just as an interesting note, in the books, he's a dragon nerd like Fish Legs is in the movies.
Oh.
And I think I was talking to Matt about it. I think they separate that from him so that you can focus on what his most important trait is, which is compassion. He sees the dragon scared on the ground as
With
he's lifting
Hiccup.
the knife. And he decides not to kill the dragon.
Yeah.
He can't. In his own words later, he looked into the dragon's eyes and he looked just as frightened as I was.
Yeah.
And then he cuts the ropes, which, for all he knows, he's about to fucking die. Like,
From
this is
the logic that he's followed his whole life. Yeah.
He's doing what he feels is the right thing, despite what consequences
Yup.
it may have. And in response, Toothless does not kill him and runs away. And that's interesting because that goes against everything he knows.
Mm-hmm.
So for the rest of the movie, like, you know, he's sort of, his mind is being changed by Toothless. Out of curiosity, he goes back and, finds him injured.
Yeah.
And because of his heart and his compassion, he makes the prosthetic and tries to get him up in the air again, which
Yeah.
he rides Toothless, but it's not from an I want to ride a dragon perspective. It's
Yeah.
from a we need to get this dragon up in the air, and this prosthetic doesn't work unless I engineer something that allows it to move in the way we need it to.
Yeah.
And the easiest way was to
Make that thing that he makes.
and so
That
they
for some reason they decided let's do a post credits of this too. Or isn't that what the post credits is?
No, I think the post credit was him putting the drawing in the book.
Yeah, the one of pickup that he had earlier.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yeah,
you also
yeah.
see this continue as he learns about dragons. He used them in the ring,
Pickup, I
and
meant.
that helps
Yeah.
reinforce
Toothless, but yeah.
that that what he's learning is real. Like, it's not just Toothless or anything. Like, he's going into the ring and scratching under this dragon's chin, and it is falling over like a puppy.
Yeah.
Like, and it comes together in this scene where he's sitting with Toothless, and a bunch of little green dragons, terrible terrors, come up, and they start sort of having little cute shenanigans, fighting over the fish and trying to get food. And he laughs and throws one to one and says, "Here you go."
Yeah.
And the dragon happily eats it up and then comes to lay down next to him. And he pets this dragon and says, "Everything we know about you guys is wrong." So you see this shift as his compassion and curiosity and his growing friendship with Toothless changes his mind over time.
Okay. And you just didn't feel like that was really on display as much here?
So,
like, where they just kind of
in the
breezed
new
through that a
one,
little bit more? I feel like it was definitely more casual, like the way they
yeah.
kind of did it in this live action.
so like rather than the like learning and then realizing everything he knew was wrong, pretty much in the live action, right after he lets Toothless go, for some reason he goes straight to Astrid and is like, "Hey, what if everything we know about dragons is wrong, and actually dragons are like super chill?" And she looks at him and is like, "What the fuck are you talking
You
about?"
fucking stupid.
Which is a valid reaction to have, right? Like, for everything they know, that doesn't make any sense. He shouldn't even know that, honestly. Like, and then she also...
Exactly. That's a good point.
And then they get rid of the terrible terror scene, too. So in the end, it feels like he learned the lesson right away, and now we're just having fun dragon shenanigans for, like, you know, half an hour, for, you know, however long that takes.
Yeah.
And that makes it feel different and weird.
Yeah.
And then Astrid's turnaround doesn't feel as believable because in that scene they also add this like weird rivalry where she's like, "I'm gonna take your chiefdom and your house," and I'm like, "You get to take his house too?" Like,
The fuck?
Did she say that?
Yeah,
she
did.
said she had eyes on his
Damn.
pretty little house. Like,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
take
remember
your house.
that.
I'm gonna take your job. Fuck you.
and
I
it
would have
felt
been like, oh, fuck you.
I mean, Hiccup
Yeah.
was just like, okay.
He's like, all right,
I don't want it anyway, to be honest. But yeah, and then they add so much to her. She like bullies him so hard. She's like after his chiefdom too and his house apparently, and it doesn't seem like her main goal in the live action is protecting the village. It's
Spiting
possibly
him.
power.
It's more
It's
like-
it's like Lex
It feels like
Luthor
a
and
power
Superman.
grab.
That's what I was
rather than
saying.
anything,
Like, it's
yeah.
almost like she's constantly kind of keeping her eye on him. Like, even though she's like, I'm not interested in you. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I
Where
hate
it's like,
you.
Well, clearly you are. Like, you keep fucking getting involved and saving me and shit too. Like, so like clearly you do want to be involved with me,
If-
even though you say like don't
It,
be involved with me. Like,
it feels
I
like
don't
she
know,
just
it's-
hates him way more in the fucking live movie than the fucking
kind of
other
for
one.
no reason.
She's
yeah.
indifferent, like in the original movies. She feels like, but
Yeah.
in this one, she does feel like she just hates him straight up after telling him that speech.
But then after a magical dragon ride, I think I'm in love with you.
Yeah.
And also, dragons are pretty chill. You're so right.
Wow.
Wow.
Magical
Completely
dragon
changed my
ride.
mind.
You've completely altered my worldview.
You've shown me
Taking
the
me on
world.
an Aladdin style.
Like, yeah, exactly.
I can show you
you
the
the
world.
Which is sort of similar in the first one too, I think. Like it does feel a little bit Aladdin-y how he takes her for a magical dragon ride. I also think that, I mean, we can go over it. They changed a lot of lines just a little bit, and I think that changes the meaning of a lot of lines. And I won't go too deep into that because it's a lot of them, and we'll be here all night long. But
24-hour podcast.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
do a live
for
stream.
sure.
We'll do a live Q&A.
We're
Let
doing it
people
live.
join in.
All right, I'm gonna take my 2-hour nap. You guys fill it.
So another big one that I wrote down was lack of parallels, and that's because in the first movie, like I said, the writing is Loctite. Everything has payoff. Everything comes back around.
Well, like almost parallels between father and son, and
Yeah.
between him and the dragon or something.
Yeah, as well as just sort of reoccurring things. Like a good example is the lines "Night Fury, get down," which changes meaning over the course of the movie.
Okay.
In the first scene, where it's dark and you're opening up to a massive fight in the village and everything's on fire.
Yeah.
They say "Night Fury, get down," as Hiccup narrates about how dangerous and scary this dragon is. Right, get down because get out of the way. Like this dragon is deadly.
And they can't see it and everything.
The second time that's said is I believe at the battle with the mountain-sized dragon, where Toothless is now coming in to save the day, and Gobber says, "Night Fury, get down," so that everybody ducks because Toothless is coming in to save them now.
Yeah.
And it wraps that up at the end of the movie when Hiccup is standing outside, and he's like, "That's it. I must be dead because the village is at peace with dragons now." And you hear Gobber say, "Night Fury, get down!" And it's because Toothless is like bouncing over everybody, pushing people aside to get to Hiccup, like joyfully, and everybody's laughing, and it's fun, like it's in a much different context now. And
No,
that's sort of the point.
exactly.
And they have one parallel in the live action that I saw that was added in, which is something that Snotlout says. You I think, do you remember that one? Because I don't quite remember.
No, I don't. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Dang. There is one in the new
Why don't
movie.
you remember?
I just fried.
That's all I can say, okay?
It was something that
We have
Snotlout
someone on the
says.
side that can look it up.
Snotlout says
He
Lindsay,
says
pull that
something
up.
in
It's
the
a
beginning,
parallel.
and then he says it
Sorry.
again at the end, and
Lindsay,
it has
pull that up,
different
please.
context now. And I at least appreciated that, even if none of the original parallels were there. Like, to have one makes me smile inside.
There was like one I remember in the live action scene where it was like the flame towards the door at the start. Like he opened the door and the dragon was bursting a flame at the door. And then at the end he opens the door and it's a dragon coming out the door, but it's not like bursting a flame. It's like it's got not fish legs.
It's Snotlout.
I keep screwing up that. Yeah.
Ryan
Snotlout,
Reynolds?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. No, not
Reynolds.
not fish legs.
Hey kid, what are you doing?
But there are a lot of parallels in the first one. Everything sort of comes back around. There are no
Yeah.
wasted lines in the first one.
That's just the curse of these live action movies.
Yeah.
You know? Like
There you go.
like I hate to keep like coming back to that, but I think it is so relevant with
That
this.
is the case.
Because especially like we talked about, this is DreamWorks like first time kind of doing it in the same way that Disney's been doing it. Like you said at the start of this, Marty, like I really hope we don't get like Shrek live action.
Oh, it's
next
coming.
Or something. Like I'm gonna be like,
Oh,
my
it's coming.
I kind of
God.
convinced myself of Markiplier Farquaad, honestly.
And honestly,
Yeah,
if
I'm
Markiplier's
actually-
not Farquaad, I'm gonna riot.
Then-
I'm gonna
yeah,
boycott
then
the
you can
film.
say
You know
just
why I
scrap it.
think?
Yeah.
You know why I think it might not happen? Because I heard Shrek 5 is supposed to be Shrek going to the real world anyway, or something. I was
Shut
like,
up!
"You fucking kidding me?"
I'm not gonna watch the film if that's the case. You can't convince me otherwise.
Like it's the Smurfs or something.
No,
Like, they gotta go to the
dude,
real
Smurfs.
world.
I'm saying, what was that movie about a princess that goes into the real world through the sewer, and the Prince Charming also follows there?
Oh, I think that's a good movie though, isn't it? That's the that's a. Oh, shit, I forget what movie that is.
Yeah, but I don't see a Shrek movie doing that.
No, but I mean that movie was like original. It like kind of played off of its own. Like it wasn't a character that was already established.
Yeah, I mean, true.
You know what I mean?
So we may have to cut it short soon, but I just want to make sure we've covered pretty much everything. So we covered like the pacing.
Yo,
We covered like the writing. We covered the story. with a lot of aspects of the story,
Yep.
the characters and the actors. I guess one of the things we kind of haven't talked about yet, but like we don't talk about too much usually, is like, what about the score? Like, do you guys think the score was anything
Forgettable.
memorable or
No,
anything?
forgettable.
Yeah, that's
I
what
wouldn't
I
watch
thought.
it
I don't
again.
remember anything.
I don't either.
I don't think it was like bad, but it was, I guess, just serviceable or something. Like, it just was.
Did its
I'll
job,
say
but
It did
I'm
its
not gonna
job.
remember.
It's
But yeah,
it did its job, but
it's not like you were ever sitting there going, "This
It-
is terrible."
it didn't
like this
improve
score.
upon what was. I mean, and it's
It
not.
wasn't
You're
like
not going to
Hans
improve
Zimmer or
upon
something, though, where you
what's
were
already
like,
there.
This is great.
It's already
like,
good enough.
Oh my God,
like
that's Hans.
Yeah.
I mean-
So okay. So then, what else have we not talked about?
I actually, if you want to wrap this up, I can wrap this up with like one final thing. But I do have
Yes.
like the thing I showed
Yeah.
you. It's just funny.
I love that
also.
part. You should end with that.
So first, I'm gonna go over just the really special thing about the first movie and the books for me are the dragons. Also the dap up.
Yeah.
No.
I'm laughing at
Yeah.
that part.
Um,
We'll get there.
Okay.
So in the books, the dragons are very intelligent.
Yeah.
They're their own race. They have a language, everything, which is not very present in the movies. But I
Yeah.
feel like they still have varying and noticeable intelligence that I get a lot of entertainment out of. Like
Yeah.
they have the dragons themselves have strong personalities, especially if you continue to watch further into like the TV show stuff and further into the movies. I'm sure like
Which I'm sure many people will be doing now that this has made a ton of money.
Right.
yeah. And they do little things like, for example, in the first movie, Snotlout in the arena throws a hammer at a deadly natter and completely misses. And you see the natter look at it and then look back at him and like laugh like like and I think that's funny.
Yeah.
And you also see actually in the very beginning when Stoic goes to fist fight a fucking monstrous nightmare, the dragon realizes it's out of fire and you see the oh shit look cross its face and Stoic like adjusts his shoulders. Yeah, you're all out. Boom! Like and I just think that's funny. Like I think the added like personality of the dragons and the
Yeah.
expressiveness of them is really good. And then of
Yeah.
course you have Toothless, who's very intelligent, and I think he comes across like to Hiccup for the first two movies as ultimately like a brother,
Yo.
which is like because Toothless looks out for him as well, like and they're a team, they're friends. Like this isn't his pet dragon.
Yeah.
Like, and
Which
that's
is kinda
something
what's cool about it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
and that's very
It's
a
not
very
just some
different
cute pet thing like in the newest Jurassic World, how they had like that.
It's literally just another species that actually just
Yeah.
has its own form of communication.
Exactly.
Or is intelligent.
It's a
I should say.
friend.
yeah.
He's friend, not food.
Yeah.
And I find that woefully missing from the live action.
I think they
But
just
that's also
rushed-
not
it's
what
'cause of the
everybody's looking for.
rushness of it, you know, and like I think like that's like the thing about doing something rushed is like rushed can work,
Yeah.
but like it's gonna make it so that it's more glaring,
I'm
and especially if you're aware of pacing with things and stuff more too, where you're like, this is feeling a little rushed at points and stuff. But I think honestly, like, I was just happy that like this wasn't super long. I thought the pacing was actually. I think the writing could have been better, like I said, but I thought the pacing for this was actually pretty good.
I was just about to say the same, but like I was gonna say
At least,
like a little bit of the
as it went
opposite
along.
version, where it's like I'm surprised that the original animated film is shorter, but somehow has better pacing than the longer
Yeah.
live action film.
Yeah.
Somehow, because
Weird.
you know, like again, like they remove it and change stuff, and things don't have the weight that they did in the original.
Yeah, that is always weird when it's just so similar, but then like it can have such a different effect like that when it's literally pretty much the same movie too.
Yeah.
From the same director and the same writer. But yeah, I think overall this is on like VOD now, like on Vudu and or Fandango at home now and other platforms. So like I think if people like, you know, why not just watch this at home now? It's also still in theaters, also still making a lot of money. So you can do either right now. And I think the best way is probably to just watch it at home, even though I really liked this too. But also I think the context I have to give in really liking this is I never would have seen this movie, and nor do I even care too much about a sequel, considering they could just flop it. And from what you guys are telling me,
If they turn around, I'd love to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Oh,
Same.
yeah.
If they turn, I mean that the second one, the second How to Train Your Dragon has one of the most heart wrenching scenes in my opinion of what like a lot of movies. There's a lot of movies out there that have heart wrenching scenes. This one is one of those.
Well, we're all gonna be seeing it,
which is
so we hope
stoic
it's gonna be
and
better.
And his wife,
So
just
Yeah,
the
you
moment
jinxed
that
it.
they
You
have
jinxed
together.
You jinxed it.
Thanks a
Great.
lot. You jinxed
It
it.
sucks. I blame you now.
Oh my god. But any other thoughts?
So just the thing that I showed Matt that we laughed at.
Oh,
I have
okay,
a-
yeah.
I have a list of what I called minor nitpicks, which
Yeah.
we won't get into because we don't have the time, and they're minor and
Yeah.
probably more on the personal end.
Is
What
there
I
one
showed-
in particular you really want to go into real quick?
Yeah.
The one I
just
showed
one.
Matt because it was funny is I wrote Gobber and Stoic quote, "Do not dap up," which we can go into if you like, but I think that's funny enough on its own.
I like it. It's on its
No
own.
doubt.
Do we want to give
What the
people?
fuck?
Do we want to give people context,
So
or do we want to just leave them
No,
in the dark?
no context.
no context. They don't dap up, and I'm mad about
Enough
it.
said. Enough said. Disappointed.
Disappointed.
It's up to you guys.
I think
it's up
that's-
to you if
that's
you
a
want to
good
leave them
way.
in the dark or you want to tell them.
It's
out of my
basically
hands.
Like just another like the writing is just slightly worse sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gobber and Stoic now do not dap up, and it sucks more.
Why? That is
So-
weak to me now.
The specific
-1 point.
minus 1 point.
He forgot the way they did it.
The specific scene in the movie.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they just.
Come
This-
on, guys.
this,
Get it right. Do the right dap.
Am I
Kept
doing
missing.
it?
He
Am
kept
I
missing the
dapping?
whole time. That's probably the actor just kept missing. They were like, "Fuck it."
Am I giving dap?
Am I giving dab?
Stop.
Ooh.
Am I doing it right?
Just real quick, another thing I noticed in the writing
giving
is in the first movie there are little like hints too that the dragons don't really want to fight either. Like in the arena when Hiccup drops his weapon, like specifically there's a scene where a deadly natter is charging him and he just drops his weapon and the natter stops on a dime. You see the eyes flick to the weapon on the ground and flick back up.
Yeah.
And I don't think this dragon wants to fight, or at the very least they've noted that he's dropped his weapon and completely stopped charging him. But then Astrid flies in with a weapon and smacks the natter over the head and the fight continues. So you get little things like that also where like you can see that the dragons don't want to fight, and that's not present in the live action either. Like just
Yeah.
those little things that they
Yeah.
were missing that I think help deepen
Characterization and stuff like that.
Personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The personality.
No, that's a
and
real-
it deepens
dry.
the,
You
the
went
story
deep. You went
too.
deep with it,
Yeah.
and I really appreciate that. That's why it's always good having guests and getting different opinions and characterization and stuff like that. Like,
Right.
so thank you so much, everyone, for watching Pose. Love you guys, and thank you guys for joining me today.
Thank you for
Thank you for
having
having
me.
us.
Appreciate it.
Oh,
Love you guys. Thank you for the support, everyone, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.